us move on to 2.13, Chancellor's reports. Dr. Jackson, I will hand it to you.
Thank you very much, President Reed-Bellows. I'd like to start with Laney College, followed by College of Alameda, and then Berkeley City College, Merritt College, and then I'd like for Dr. Siri Brown to give an update on the parcel tax committee that made a presentation on April 27th to the board regarding the discussions that we've had with them. So first off would be Laney, then COA, BCC and Merritt, and then Dr. Siri Brown. Thank you.
And please let me know if you guys would like me to share your reports. Otherwise, I'll assume that you do not right now.
Okay, good evening, Chancellor, members of the board, and colleagues in education. Tonight, my message is essentially two parts. I'm touching on the ideas of achievement and also on appreciation. First of all, I'd like to extend my most heartfelt congratulations to all of our Laney graduates who will be receiving their degrees and certificates this coming Friday. You did it, and you did it under the most difficult of circumstances, and you should be proud. In the spirit, though, of graduation, as president, I was fortunate to be really in attendance for two great ceremonies over the last couple of weeks. First, and this is on your board agenda tonight, Gateway to College. This program has been budding and growing, and last Friday I was so pleased to be part of the congratulations that were extended to 24 students who will be completing their studies both this spring and in the summer. Just the circumstances and the difficulties and the adversity overcome by so many of these students was inspiring, and I really extend my congratulations to William Ochoa and everyone in the Gateway to College program. 89 graduates also took part 2 weeks ago in the EOPS Cares and Next Up ceremony. And taking a step back and kind of listening and hearing about all the great work that was going on, these were some of the things that happened. Students striving through a pandemic, students having an education, perhaps as parents, while children and other family members were doing the same thing during shelter in place, technology barriers and so many things. And really these graduates, I think to a great degree are our heroes. But I also think our staff at Laney College, I call them heroes too. And let me just tell you a little bit about what the folks in EOPS were doing for our students. A lot of them were working personally with students to make sure they got scholarships. A lot of them worked for specific needs of graduates who were foster youth, single parents, economically disadvantaged, and going through so many of life's difficulties. Providing leadership to student workers, and these student workers of themselves push the envelope when it came to achievement for students they were helping. Assistance to students with the use of technology. And when you want to talk about things that are innovative, I thought it was great to hear about the creation of YouTube videos to show our students remotely how to do things such as accessing the bookstore during the closure. Really, as I heard about the use of the live chat, I thought of it more as a lifeline of sorts during this time. And then, of course, there was the personal attention provided by counseling. So to Carolyn Cornelius, Maricela Zambrano, Nina Trong, Sandra McGee, Cynthia Alvarado, Benet Tyson, Ding Yao, Feke Lauti, Dean Mildred Lewis, and to Vice President of Student Services, Vicki Ferguson. I thank and congratulate you for all the great hard work and the achievements of these great students. And in the spirit of appreciation tonight, I'll close my report with mixed emotions as I bid a dear colleague farewell. This is someone who came to Laney prior to me as the Vice President of Student Services and is leaving us to go be the Vice President of Student Equity and Student Services at Diablo Valley College. She's been with the college since 2017, and as she leaves us, she was instrumental in her contributions to accreditation. The collaborative work she did with Guided Pathways, the leadership she provided as the co-chair of the Strategic Enrollment Management Committee, and the work she did with the Strategic Enrollment Plan that Laney has. Also, the constant work with student equity and achievement across our organization. This was someone who came forward with a no silos, one college attitude that she modeled for all of us, and she will be dearly missed. So to Vicki Ferguson, I would like to say to you all the best. You've been a great friend and a dear colleague. This concludes my report.
Good evening, President Reese, trustees, Chancellor Jackson, colleagues, and guests. I would like to start my report this evening by saying congratulations to the class of 2021. On Friday, May 28th at 3 p.m., COA will hold its virtual commencement, honoring more than 320 graduates who have earned an associate degree or certificate this year, a year filled with challenges and difficulties. Each graduate a shining example of courage, determination, and resilience. We celebrate their accomplishment, especially those of Donna Hooper, who is COA's valedictorian, and Angel Hung, this year's President Medallion recipient, as well as Benjamin Wilson Ripsum, who is our salutatorian for their outstanding achievement. We are so proud of all of our graduates. In addition to our main commencement celebration, there are other celebrations which include the Peralta African American virtual graduation, which took place this past Saturday, as well as the EOPS virtual graduation, which will take place this coming Wednesday, the 26th, from 5 to 6 p.m. And our Peralta Latinx graduation celebration, which will take place on June 5th from noon until 3. Additional information pertaining to graduations are located on the COA commencement website. As this academic year draws to an end, I would also like to thank and commend our faculty, staff, and administrators for the amazing work that they've done this year to care for, support, and facilitate the education of our students. I say thank you and great job. I would also like to recognize the legacy of Carlotta Campbell, COA's Emeritus Communication Faculty member and Department Chair, who passed away on Monday, May 10th. Prior to joining the faculty of COA, Carlotta was a popular radio broadcaster and reporter. She joined the college as a communication faculty member in 2004 and retired in 2015. Carlotta was a committed campus leader who served on countless college, district, and state committees. Her service at the College of Alameda included Academic Senate President, Department Chair, and Faculty Coordinator for several Black History Month programs. Carlotta was instrumental in creating the first Associates in Arts for Transfer degree. Those who knew her are mourning her loss and treasuring their memories. In closing, I would like to share a quote by Sandra Pradas Martin. Our life and our success will be measured by the quality of the life we lead and the lives we touch. So Peralta Community College, let's continue to make a positive difference in the lives of our students and in our community. This ends my report for this evening. Thank you.
Good evening. It gives me great pleasure to provide the President's Report for Berkeley City College. So good evening, trustees, fellow colleagues, community members, students, and just colleagues from throughout. I would like to begin in similar order to my, my fellow presidents by congratulating the graduates of the class of 2021. Felicidades. For many of our students, they are the first in their family, the first in their community, the first in their neighborhood. And I hope that their time, not only at Berkeley City College, but throughout all of our colleges, proves that they are not the first at everything for the next steps of their lives. It has been a privilege to have been a part of our students' academic and career journeys, and we look forward to celebrating Berkeley City College graduates this Friday evening. Very much looking forward to, albeit in a virtual environment, the messages from our trustees, Board of Trustees president, from our interim chancellor, and just giving students as much of the pomp and circumstance as we are able, so that we can truly honor the work that they have done and celebrate them. I also want to take a moment to truly congratulate, and I want to begin with congratulations before appreciation. I want to congratulate the faculty, classified professionals, and administrators. Each year we have the blessed opportunity of seeing new students join our community. And each year we see another group of students who moves on. And I want to congratulate you for the work that you have done to support Berkeley City College students as they completed their academic and career goals. I also then want to appreciate you for the long days, long nights. Earlier today, we had an end of the year celebration, and one of the thoughts that came to mind was that just over a year ago, we all went home on a Wednesday or a Thursday and came back the following Tuesday to this new world, this new reality. And faculty and staff and administrators showed up then and have showed up every day since then to support students. So I really want to appreciate you, not only in your professional efforts and endeavors, but also the ways in which your own personal lives may have been impacted by this COVID pandemic and teaching remotely. But I want to go back to the end of the year celebration. It was co-hosted by the Academic Senate, Classified Senate, and the administrators. And the theme was Coasting into Summer. And aside from accolades and recognitions, we had a Faculty Opus Award for Dr. Charlotte Lee. We had recognition of staff and administrators who have retired, who have contributed to the college, but we also had some moments of levity. So I want to share two key moments. One was the Bring Your Best Beverage, non-alcoholic beverage contest. And it was delightful to see colleagues share their home environments, create these homemade drinks, and they turned into commercials at one point. The part that I want to bring up is that it's okay for us to be in community with one another. It's okay for us to laugh, to enjoy that kind of space. And I really appreciated having that. And then the second really community building opportunity was Best in Show. So in a year full of Zoom meetings, we have had little humans and other animals, other creatures join our meetings. And so we had a Best in Show where people showed puppies and dogs and chickens and birds. And it was quite entertaining. Again, taking a moment to come in community to celebrate one another. And I want to acknowledge one particular comment because I certainly heard many of our students share about some focus on basic needs related to housing. And I was reminded of the work that the Associated Students of Berkeley City College have done with the Berkeley Student Cooperative, working collaboratively in the city of Berkeley to try to find affordable housing and resources for students. And I look forward to our incoming ASBCC president continuing that good work to provide support for students across the district. And I want to close with the recognition that, a year later after the killing, the murder of George Floyd, so much has happened in our community, in some sense for the better, the way that our community has come together, has offered space for healing. But I don't want to be lulled into thinking that all is well and all is okay. And so here we are a year later, and I'm left with Dr. Kimberly King's comment from earlier where she shared democracy doesn't cost money at all. And I think that that is the embodiment of who we are as a district, who we are as a community. And I'm looking forward to the ongoing work that not only Berkeley City College, but all the Peralta colleges can do to support equity and racial justice. And with that, that concludes my report.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I want to start tonight by calling some attention to something really great that happened a little less than 2 weeks ago. So on Wednesday, May 12th, the Merritt College administrative team came together with members of the PFT to literally call hundreds, a little over actually 12 or 1,300 were on the list, but to literally call hundreds of students to encourage them to enroll in fall 2021 courses. The collaborative project was the brainchild of Jennifer Chanowski, who's PFT president, but just as importantly, a Merritt College faculty member in the chemistry department. And encouraged by her past success with banking efforts in other areas, she mobilized her network for this important undertaking. That was in collaboration with the Merritt Director of Research, Nathan Pellegrin, who produced a calling list that comprised students. And we really wanted to focus on those who had applied for Merritt for the spring 2021 term, but for various reasons, they never actually enrolled, which was again, a list of 1,500 names. Finally, our new Dean of Enrollment Services, Rashima Thornton, made counseling and A&R support available to these students in real-time Zoom appointments. And we plan to do this additional phone banking events between now and the beginning of the fall 2021 semester, really focusing on increasing our enrollment and providing our students with the access and support they need to attain their academic goals. Secondly, like my other fellow presidents, I want to say congratulations to all of the Merritt College graduates. You should be proud. You met the mark. And I look forward to watching you reach even greater heights. I also look forward to seeing many of you, hopefully, virtually on this Saturday, May 28th, for Merritt College's 66th commencement exercise. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. And finally, in closing, I just want to express my deep and sincere appreciation to the Merritt faculty, to the Merritt classified staff, and the Merritt administration for the patience and professionalism that you continue to display. I recognize that it's never easy when one is expected to abide the kind of derision that too often comes your way, especially as you attempt to do your jobs in the midst of a pandemic. But you do your jobs and you do it well and you do it without fanfare. So I want to take the opportunity tonight to say thank you to continuing to serve our students and our community, even when your efforts to do so may be mischaracterized or unfairly criticized. So thank you.
Board of Trustees, Chancellor Jackson, colleagues and community. I'm going to give just a brief update about the Citizens Oversight Committee in relation to the parcel tax report that occurred in April. On April 14th, Vice Chancellor Adil Ahmed and myself and Director Mark Johnson attended the Citizens Oversight regular meeting where we discussed the data that we provided to them that was requested prior to that meeting. And at that meeting, we talked about how it would be helpful to have a mutually agreed upon template and questions and to establish a timeline so that the Citizens Oversight Committee wouldn't feel the kinds of frustration that they've expressed in the past where they have a hard time getting the data they need in a timely fashion. So we met twice since that time. We met on May 6th, and this is the chair of the committee, Debbie Weintraub, Oscar Porter, the vice chair, Vice Chancellor Adil Ahmed, myself, and Director Johnson. At that meeting, we allowed the COC to just talk about what it is that they wanted from Peralta and walk through the template they created and clarify some understandings about the language that they were using in their requests, and talked about how to align that language with the language that we use. And so what we agreed is that we would meet again in 2 weeks and that I would bring back a draft template and draft narrative questions based off of the notes that we took at that meeting. So we met again, the same group of people, but this time I brought Amani Almerzi. She's my curriculum analyst, as well as Stephen Chan. He's the interim associate vice chancellor of institutional research. They joined the meeting as well. And we presented the draft, a template, as well as the draft narrative questions. And I'm happy to say that they were both really happy with both documents and the timeline that we laid out. And so the reason why we had research there is because we actually are going to develop a Power BI dashboard for the parcel tax, for the courses that are funded by the parcel tax. And we think that this will make it easier for not only the Citizens Oversight Committee, but also for Peralta to pull the kind of data that's needed. And my curriculum analyst was there because it'll mean that the schedulers will be coding courses that are funded by the parcel tax in a particular way, tying them to Fund 8 so that it's easy for researchers to pull which courses and therefore receive the data. And so at that meeting, we decided on and agreed upon a timeline, the standard template, the dashboard and what that might look like, the narrative questions, and also that the presidents, myself, Vice Chancellor Ahmed would all attend the November meeting, which is about a month and a half after we would turn in our annual report to the COC. However, all of this is going to go to the June 9th Citizens Oversight Committee meeting, and we will all be in attendance there. And Chair Weintraub will be talking about what we have done with the Citizens Oversight Committee and solidifying an agreement around what I've just discussed. So I just want to say that I feel really good about the meetings that we had. I believe they did too. They certainly expressed that many times. And that really the communication breakdowns were the source of where the consternation was. And I think that we've resolved that. But we do want to really kind of codify this new process to make sure that regardless of who's in what positions, that we are always providing the citizens with the data that they need so that taxpayers know what the funds are being used for and how important they are to the community. And last, I just want to thank Chair Deborah Weintraub and Vice Chair Oscar Portrero for just meeting with us and being open and helping us find solutions. And that ends the report. Thank you, Chancellor Jackson.
Thank you, everyone. And I'll now turn it back over to President Napoli Reese.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Let us move on to our informational item. And we have Dr. Helen.